Hi YouTube, Susan here again, and welcome back to my kitchen. I have a problem. See? My bananas have gotten overripe, and when I have this particular problem, what I like to do is make banana bread. You got it. That's what today's recipe is. And you need the overripe banana. When it's all brown and yucky on the outside, it's delicious on the inside. The ripening process actually releases more of the sugars in the banana, so what you end up with is a very, very nice tasting banana bread. Better than you get with a normal banana. That's why they suggest using the extra ripe ones. Now, in this cup over here, I have already got 3 of these things squished up. It doesn't take much to squish them because they are all over-ripened already. So, there we go. Now, this recipe calls for 1 cup of mashed over-ripened bananas. I have 2 cups here because I am doing a double batch. So the recipe I will leave in the description box will be for a single banana bread loaf. But today I am doing a double one. So I will tell you what the ingredients are for the single, and I'm automatically doubling for this one. Okay, let's get started. Now, to start off with, I've pre-measured everything just for the speediness of this video. Make it easier. Okay, what we start with is mixing the sugar. And the recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup. So of course this is double that. You need 1/3 cup of soft margarine, and you put that in the bowl. So we got sugar, margarine. Okay, and you also need 2 eggs, unbeaten, and so I have 4 here. So you throw them in the bowl. Now what we got to do is cream these together for 3 minutes. Not to worry, I will mute the sound of the video when I'm turning on the electric mixer. You don't need to worry about your ears. Okay, now we add flour, which I have measured out here, and that is 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And to the flour we add 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now what I like to do with this, since they're added in together, is put them in with the flour, like so. Okay, put them in with the flour, and just take a mixer like this, and just gently move it through so that they all mix together pretty evenly. And then when you add it to your wet ingredients, it is thoroughly through that. Okay, So now we go back with the mixer and we add it in increments until it's well mixed in. This recipe calls for half of a cup of chopped walnuts, but that is optional. I don't happen to have any right now, so I'm doing it without. And the bananas. And again, the recipe calls for a cup, but I have 2 cups in here because of the double loaf. Mix them in until they're wet. Add in the rest. There we go. Alright, now what I like to do is scrape down the sides, make sure everything gets in there. And there we have it. That is your batter for the banana bread. Now, into a couple of loaf pans that I have prepared. You grease the inside of the loaf pans, and then I'm going to have to divide this evenly between the 2 of them. And you bake them in your preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour, or until the toothpick comes out clean. And so I'll get on doing that. And once I pop them in the oven, I'll shut the video off and then come back with the finished product. Because I'm not going to make you sit here for an hour. Not that you would. Okay. Now this is a great recipe if you need something to take as a hostess gift, if you've been invited to dinner. You can always take it with you as a possible dessert, or just for them for later. Homemade banana bread is usually welcome anywhere, unless you're allergic to bananas, and that's your misfortune, because this is delicious. I've used this recipe for years. There we go. Just try and even it out in the pan so that it bakes evenly. You don't need one part of it thicker than the rest, or it won't cook properly, and you'll have moist spots and dry spots. And there we go. That's pretty even. Okay, into the oven these go at 350 for 1 hour, or until the toothpick comes out clean. I'll be right back with the finished product. Hi, and we're back. The loaves are out of the oven now, and they're mostly cooled. In my oven it took 50 minutes instead of the hour. So I would advise you to keep a close eye on them when they come toward the end of the timing, so you don't burn them. Anyway, as you can see, I've got the 2 loaves. I'm going to put one aside, and I'm going to cut the other one so I can show you what it looks like inside. And for this you just need a bread knife, because it is banana bread. And I like making the slices about maybe an inch thick, just for, and there you go. As you can see, it's nice and light and fluffy, and it smells delicious. Now what I like to do is, while it's still slightly warm, put some margarine or butter on it and eat it up with a cup of hot tea. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the recipe, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.